Many crypto experts have been very optimistic about the prospects of Bitcoin. Several predictions have been made to this effect, and while some have been off the mark, others were realized this year. Today, we'll be looking at the aftermath of Bitcoin's surge and when we think Bitcoin will drop. The surge of Bitcoin's price is traced to the growing trust that investors have in the cryptocurrency. The reason for investors' newfound faith in crypto has to do with who is doing the investing. In 2017, Bitcoin's price was driven up by individual investors who believed in the future and value of the technology. At the time, though, Bitcoin was not a reputable investment. It was not backed by any assets or by a government, and lack of mainstream support was adding to its risk. Bitcoin's impressive break through the $35,000 barrier appears to have lost steam as the bulls snapped their four-day winning streak after reaching a fresh all-time high at $41,987 a few days ago. Despite the corrective pullback of around $3,000, the most favored digital asset remains far from topping out. Analysts that have been extremely accurate at predicting previous market tops now suggest that Bitcoin has plenty of room to rise before a significant correction gets underway. From this angle, the long-term prospect of Bitcoin is particularly bullish, but the chances of a major pullback are looking more likely as its surge continues. Experts already know that it's only a matter of time. Estimates vary wildly as to where the price of Bitcoin will land. Some say that it may reach $60,000 by the middle of this year, depending on when and where it consolidates. Others believe it might even break $100,000 by the end of this year. One thing to be wary of is that Bitcoin is still a very volatile asset that's likely to keep experiencing dips and highs. In the next year, we could see fluctuations as big as 20 to 30% in Bitcoin value. As a partner who has traded the rise and fall and rise of the currency over many years, we have the experience to back this up. However, crypto trading experts are largely optimistic about the future. These fluctuations are not going to be enough to slow it down. Bitcoin will likely break $50,000 in 2021. The market trend is clear. Despite Bitcoin's variability, new bull cycles see the highs go higher and the lows get higher as well. This is to say that Bitcoin keeps breaking its previous records and stabilizing at higher prices after its drops. This is a pretty rare sight. In 2020, the rise of Bitcoin was sponsored by huge institutional investor interest. Large hedge funds and publicly traded companies are driving this bull cycle, and they don't present the same reputational drawbacks that retail investors do. Recently, Square and PayPal have added cryptocurrency to their offering. Mainstream financial media is paying attention and reporting on crypto on the daily, and this time it's not dismissive. This time, it's serious business. The involvement of such large players in the crypto world gives it the legitimacy it needs. We're likely seeing the beginning of the entry of digital currency in the mainstream, and in the following years, this market will harden into its proper mold. The inflation that arose from the pandemic is one of the major reasons why cryptocurrencies seem to have gained a major foothold over fiat currencies, which started to depreciate. This led investors to seek to hedge against it as the purchasing power of the dollar and other fiat currencies started rapidly decreasing. However, it is suggested that this same reason that made the crypto industry thrive could cease to be a problem when the inflation ceases and the recession is over. Another important factor that is likely to continue driving up the price of Bitcoin is its supply problem. There's only a limited amount of Bitcoin available. Although Bitcoin can be mined, there are very few who are doing that, and all other investors depend on the supply. This fact will continue, and in the long term, as we near the total possible 21 million Bitcoin, the coin is bound to become more scarce. Institutional buyers are picking up large amounts fairly quickly, and demand doesn't look like it's going to dry up. As this trend continues, Bitcoin will continue to rise, but the supply problem will have another notable consequence that investors may need to pay attention to. Its supply problems are likely to drive other competing currencies up as well, and it could empower its direct competitors. In the last few days, Ethereum against Bitcoin has also been on a bull cycle. Ethereum has seen a 350% increase in its value since the beginning of the year, and investors seem to be willing to buy Ethereum with Bitcoin. Ethereum's supply is infinite, and with its inventors ready to work on its scalability, it will be able to attract even more investors. The increase in competitiveness of the crypto industry this year might cause the price of Bitcoin to drop considerably. Other than Ethereum, Cardano and Orchid both benefited from the Bitcoin rise last week. This chart shows the rising price trend indicated by the purple line, which extends even higher, though the trend pattern has dropped off at $41,200 to about $40,874. The chart shows its possible dip indicated by the blue arrow. Though the line doesn't indicate a steep fall in price, it just points to several possible unmarked spots which the price of Bitcoin can drop off. The price could probably meet the strong support between $37,000 and $39,500. We believe this because the coin has shown itself strong enough to consolidate itself some ways short of the new all-time highs, if not more. Given what we've seen in the last few days, it might be a bit too early to sell off your Bitcoin. People tend to get riled up quite easily when they see predictions that show the potential of a cryptocurrency to dip. Truth is, a dip is as unpredictable as a crypto surge. As good as it sounds, the surge will not continue forever, and the coin is expected to either consolidate or dip anytime soon. How soon it'll happen is not clear enough yet. Most people are expecting the dip to happen quite sooner rather than later, while others are maintaining an optimistic stance for now while expecting the price to fall a bit modestly and not too far down. However, it suggests that there will be another opportunity to buy into the dip once it starts. This chart shows the price pattern of Bitcoin. The chart adopts a categorization into two phases: the accumulation phase and the impulsive phase. The impulsive phase covers the period of its journeys to an all-time high. The accumulation shows the periods of dips and consolidation that crypto has experienced from one period to another as it prepares for a probable period of surges. It also documents the surge of Bitcoin starting from the 16th of March 2020 till date. And the end of that impulsive phase is thus marked at an end as the analyst assumes that the trend pattern is set for an accumulation phase that will seek a strong support level at around $27,372 with a 30% retracement possibility. However, this leaves room for an upward surge back to $40,270, which may extend the impulsive phase, but you never really know. As recorded in history, whenever Bitcoin goes on the extremely bullish run, a dip is not far behind. Some analysts argue that there could be a major halving that may bring the crypto crashing down to the $20,000 range. It has happened before, after its surge in 2017, when the price dropped below $10,000 from about $20,000, which was the all-time high at the time. That was a pretty steep fall from grace for the coin. The most recent surge is an historic one that hasn't been seen before in the history of the cryptocurrency. The rate of adoption and large-scale investors that keep buying huge holdings of the crypto may ultimately slow down the slip of the currency, and the fall becomes rather gradual, allowing investors to sell whenever they prefer, or it may entirely establish the coin's price at a safe level, neither dipping nor rising. The furious rise for Bitcoin in recent months has left the cryptocurrency vulnerable to pullbacks. Undoubtedly, people are far more actively involved in their use of their Bitcoin network accounts, even as new accounts are being opened by new investors. It's going to be quite the ride for Bitcoin. You're either in or out. You do not have to rush into a panic to sell your holdings of Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency is up over 30% since the start of 2021, and in the past 12 months, it has surged 400%. There's still more than enough time for it to grow exceedingly. If it falls at all, it may instead offer hope to buy it at a much cheaper rate before it goes on another surging run. If you missed the run it started in December 2020 till now, you might get a second chance to get in on the loop while others might be looking to sell against the dip. One man's food is another man's poison. Having seen the potential of Bitcoin, crypto evangelists will not be able to shut up for the massive returns they've earned off their Bitcoin investment. Many others who have a diversified portfolio containing multiple cryptocurrencies will be more than happy that Bitcoin happens to make up their largest holdings, and it also pushed the rise of other altcoins that they hold in their portfolio, such as Ethereum, which rose about 350% within 48 hours to beat its previous all-time high, Cardano, XRP, which recently got out of a huge price slump, and Tether. It may not be too late to enrich ourselves with the proceedings of buying and trading cryptocurrencies. We hope you found this video informative. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you can get updates whenever we post a new video. Are you also waiting for an opportunity to buy more Bitcoin? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.